Alright, here is a demo on how to use the StageScore Palm scoring system with infrared printers. This video is geared towards stage ROs and scorekeepers, as some of the advanced functionality that only pertains to easy win score will not be shown in this video. The first order of business is to explain all the hardware. First, you have the Palm Pilot. The model used in this demonstration is a Palm Tungsten T2. It is one of the faster units, but they all work the same way in regards to scoring. Attached to the Palm is an external battery source. We have found that the Palms work fine for a local match on internal power, but for all-day use they need the external unit. The unit contains 4 AA batteries and will power the unit all day. It's very cheap to replace the batteries so that there is no data loss. The units are set to shut off after 1 minute of inactivity to maximize the battery life. If it shuts off, just simply turn the unit back on and it will be in the same place that it was. The last piece of equipment to explain is the thermal printer. The model I have are the O'Neill T2. They're an infrared printer. This port here receives the infrared signals. Once the battery is plugged in, there's really no on-off, no maintenance on these. The battery should last all day without a problem. I do have plenty of extras in the event that it stops printing on you. As you can see, I've got the units contained within a plastic box or a plastic bag to protect them from the elements, dust, water, rain, whatever it may be. On to the demo. You can see that the unit did automatically power off. This unit has the power button at the top. Just simply press it there. Basically, there isn't a whole lot of difference between paper-based scoring and this electronic version. If you're running a stage, you would certainly need to know what stage you're going to score. That's achieved by clicking the Lock Current Stage button. We'll pick the first stage here for our demo. Just click on it and select back. It'll take you back to the main menu, having that stage selected to score. At that point, you just press Enter Scores. I'm using the information from the Double Tap Championship on this demo, so you can see it'll take a second to sort through 300 users, 350 users. Once sorted, though, once you go back to that screen, it's much quicker. Alright, once all of the shooters are displayed, you can pick the squad that should be showing up on your stage here. For the example, we'll pick squad number 7. You'll have a display of the shooters that are in this squad. You can accept the shoot order as it's displayed, or you can sort by name, randomize them, or by shooter number. We'll go ahead and select randomization here. Once the order is shown, best practice is to go ahead and print that order. That's achieved simply by putting the palm in front of the printer. Hit print and say yes. You'll hear the beep from the printer itself. That means that they are communicating with each other. The negotiation between the printer and the palm takes about 20 seconds, and then the print is another 10 seconds or so. Seems like a longer time, but it in actuality is only about 30 seconds. Once the shooting order is printed, to keep from being asked 100 times what the shooting order is, I suggest that you get a little paster and stick it on top of your box. That way you'll know where it is every time. You won't have to look for it, and the shooters will all know if everybody does it the same way. Now that you have the shooting order selected, we'll get down to entering the score. We'll pick Alex as the first shooter here. You just hit score. Takes you to a screen where you can enter the time that it took the shooter to shoot the stage, or, as in most cases, we go ahead and score the targets. Just select targets And this is a simple touch entry. If it's Alpha Charlie, 2 Alpha. Very simple process to enter the scores. If there is a next button on the screen, that means that there are additional targets to score. If there is no next, you're done scoring. You hit back to score. It'll take you to the main menu, at which point you can enter the time. If you made a mistake on the time, simply click and enter again. If you made a mistake on a target by accidentally selecting additional, no matter how many you go here, it will not reset. You click the target number itself, and then you could correct your problem. Again, here, if you have a next, there's more targets to score. If not, hit back to score. You have your time entered. It will calculate misses automatically entered on the first screen. If you need to add procedurals for any reason, you got to select the procedural box and then enter a number. You can clear it by clicking on it once more. The field is assumed to have been hit on every stage. If there is a mic on the field, you would select the field and say 4 hits, 2 misses on the field. At this point, you want the Palm to check the scores. It will verify that you didn't miss any paper targets. It will display if you had any misses or no penalty mics or anything of that sort. You come to a summary screen. This screen is where you and the shooter will verify that the information is correct, and the RO will sign and the shooter will sign. At that point, you'll want to print the receipt and set up for a big match. These palms will actually be set up to print 2 scores, one for the RO scorekeeper and one for the shooter. Again, it takes approximately 30 seconds total time to print both receipts. It seems like longer, it isn't. Once the scores have been printed, they are identical scores. You tear it in half, one for the RO to keep. I'll have a separate box to keep them in, and one for the shooter that shows all of his hits as entered. It does calculate the hit factor. It's a nice feature. Once you're done with this shooter, you would then hit the save button. The score has been saved. It'll return you to the main menu, at which point you can select the next shooter and go through the same process. You saw the box show up on the numbers. That just means that it is able to accept data. We'll say we have the time on Ron first. Here's the next button indicating more targets. Ron had a fantastic run apparently. We'll go back to the score. We'll run the check. Again displaying the summary screen, at which point the RO will sign, the shooter will sign. We'll go ahead and print. Won't print this time, it just shows you the same thing I already have. Once you save the shooter score, if you accidentally hit save before you printed it, just highlight the shooter, click score again. It will ask if this is a reshoot. It is not a reshoot, and all we want to see is the summary. Here's where both of you assigned. It will not print the signatures, but it does keep it in the Palm, and it does transfer to other Palm Pilots for the sync up. Here you have the opportunity to print for the shooter. This will conclude this video. I will go ahead and make another one of troubleshooting, as YouTube has a 10-minute limit on videos, and I'm just about there.